Hi, so today we're covering an update to the software that was done after the first alpha test version. And by the way, this is what we're going to do here as we're releasing newer versions of the software. So every once in a while you will see some new and improved functions besides bug fixes that of course we're going to do here, right? So the new function I want to show you today is how we improved the picture tagging. And what we've also done in the latest version is that we have improved the info tab here a little bit. And as you were aware from the previous versions, right, I mean, this is pretty much nothing else but a built-in web browser, right? So as you could see here, we can go to the home page of the software, of course, right? And you can also see all the tutorials, right? So as we're taping this here, so this will be actually tutorial number 13, right? So since this is not on here yet, we're just taping this here. And so on this bar we keep having a navigational help that will pretty much go to show you the news about the software and tutorials and so forth. One little thing we added here is recipes, which is one of our other websites here that we run, Your Main Kitchen, right? So it's just more like a gimmick, right? So Your Main Kitchen is another thing we want you to check out at some point. It's just a little website I run here for vegan and vegetarian cooking. But bottom line is here, this bar pretty much is related to the software, right? So to navigate. So one thing that was added here is pretty much a standard web browser. You can type in here, for example, google.com, right? And what it will do is we'll just go to the Google site, right? And you see here on the left side, it pretty much shows you that this is the title that would show up in a standard web browser. So one thing that we can do here now as well, of course, you can go back and forward here. This is also new. You see that little thing here shows the progress as you're loading the sites, right? So you see this here. So let's go back to our Google page here. So one thing we can do now, we can actually take a snapshot of this and store it in the picture database. So if I'm clicking this here, will take a second, and now it says the image of the current web page was saved to the database, right? So let's actually look at the pictures function here and see where that is. You see we've done a bunch of things here previously, and you see here this is the picture we just took a snapshot of, and you see this is here, right? And let me actually clean this up a little bit. There's a bunch of other stuff in here that we put in here that I want to delete here so we can show you some of the new functions. This is the picture I just took, right? So I double click on this, same thing, right? It will show you the picture in full size. Press escape, go back. So this is pretty much now I have the option to take pictures here from a web browser, right? So let's do something else, say wikipedia.org. so I just see here that this is working. So this is loading here. Take a couple seconds here. See, there it is, and I take another snapshot here. So we'll take a second. Say the image has been saved. Let's go back into the pictures function, and you see here now we have a new entry called Wikipedia. I click on this. See, it's the preview, and if I double click on this, we get a fairly large picture here of the Wikipedia screen, right? So this is nothing else that had been there before. But another thing that is new in this picture function is that you can now actually tag pictures, right? So if I want to tag this Wikipedia page with Wikipedia, which is a new tag, right? It's not a tag that's in here yet, right? You see this is tagged now. If I go to other pictures, of course they're not tagged, right? So this tag here will only show up in Wikipedia. And you remember our little tag browser, tag search function, right? If I pop this up here, you see we have a new tag called Wikipedia, and you see there's a new type here, picture, and if I click on this, it will pretty much open the picture module and show me this entry here, Wikipedia, which is the one we have just saved, right? So, and you remember our user Bob that we had a while ago. So if I go on pictures here, you see we have no pictures associated with Bob right now. So if I associate all these pictures here with my user Bob, right, I can still do that. So I go back, see we have the 3 pictures here associated. So let's now also do one thing. I can tag my user Bob. Let's say tag him with the same tag here, Wikipedia. Let's see what happens here. If I go back to the tag browser, and you see Wikipedia now has two tags, right? One is the user Bob itself, which I see here right now, and one of the pictures, right? Which is that Wikipedia picture here, right? So this is a simple way to show that, you know, now the picture tagging has been extended here, or the tagging has been extended to pictures here as well. So what could this be used for, other than, of course, you can categorize pictures, right? So I can say here's a picture of a took from a cooking web page, right? So this is actually tofu, right? So I can tag this, right? And so if I look for the word tofu later, I get a picture of this here, right? So let me actually show you this works, right? So tofu is new there. Of course, we get the picture here highlighted, right? The other ones are not tagged, right? So of course, if I tag two pictures with the word tofu, which is what I just realized, right? So you saw here the pictures. One I've tagged with the word tofu. Let's tag Google here for the hell of it with the word tofu as well. See what happens now if I do a tag search for the word tofu. Two messages, right? Two are pictures. Okay, one is the tofu picture. Second one, see what happens here, is the Google picture. And you see when this links to the pictures, it gets highlighted. If I click on it, you see the preview here, right? So this can also be used for scanning documents, right? So let me show you one thing. I have a scanner here, so let me just scan for my flatback scanner here a little document. This will take a second here as the scanner is warming up, and it's sent here like black and white and a low resolution, so it shouldn't take too long. And it's scanning a document called scan2. Okay, so this is done, and so let me go back to my pictures module. And what I can do now here is I can say add picture from file. Of course, I need to know where my scanner has actually put the picture, right? And it has most likely put this in here, pictures, right? And let me order this by date modified. So this is the picture I just scanned, right? And scan this in here. If I do the preview, what that actually is, I think it's just the instruction for the scanner itself, right? If I double click on this and I put the picture upside down, right? So I have to flip it while I scan it, but you see there's a picture preview in here, right? So now I can pretty much tag this with, you know, scanner documentation, for example. Right, tag this. Go back to the tag browser. Should have guessed had a new tag here, which is the picture I just scanned. Right, so it's right here. And again, of course, I can associate this with users or with notepad files, of course, as well. So this is a simple way how you can scan documents, keep them in one place, which is the picture database, and tag them with search words. You could use this, for example, with letters from your bank, or, you know, other statements where you want to discard of the paper copy. You can keep them in here, and then through the tagging mechanism, you know, provide a relatively easy way to find them. Right. So this pretty much concludes the update for today. To summarize what we have covered today, let me close this here. There's some changes here to the info tab, which now has more or less a full web browser in here, and we have talked about the improved picture module, especially the function here where you can now tag pictures as well.